Hello. Going to screen share. Just a second. Okay, let me just bring up the chat. All right, let's go. So welcome to the webinar, Learning How to Let Go of the Unnecessary Items in Your Home. Just move this by me, Bianca Master Totaro, founder of Enchanted Living Spaces. Here's a picture of me and my favorite animal, an alpaca. I am a home energy clearer, a feng shui practitioner, a decluttering coach, an animal and planet lover, and a Renaissance woman. I do a lot of stuff concerning energy, the Chinese elements I'm getting into now, and I hope that you guys will keep in touch because I have a lot of good stuff coming up in the next couple of months, and I'm in development of a course so everyone can find out their own Chinese element and learn how to balance themselves. It's very interesting stuff. So let's get into the webinar now. So during today's webinar, we'll be going over what exactly clutter is, what it ends up causing in your life, getting clear on your vision of the future that you want for yourself, and a whole bunch of different techniques to making letting go of the items in your home that you no longer need a lot easier for you. So what exactly is clutter? Clutter is anything that you no longer use, love, or serves a purpose in your future. You might have used something from the past that you loved, for instance, some clothing styles, but I'm pretty sure you're not going around wearing things from the 80s anymore, but you might still have those clothing items lingering around in your home because you haven't gotten rid of them yet. So anything that no longer represents who you are now and who you want to be in the future. This are also things such as like unfinished projects you started in the past and lost momentum with that are still laying around your house, decor that you don't really like anymore and doesn't speak to your heart. This can really make you feel a bit unattached from your home when your decorations no longer represent exactly who you are. Junk drawers and any cabinets that are filled to the brim with stuff, making whatever you are searching for really hard to find. Those are really annoying and pesky. Past memorabilia of people who are no longer in your life. This definitely doesn't include those who have passed away, because obviously you want to keep some stuff to represent those who you love. But it's more so things from ex-friends and ex-relationships. You don't want to have that stuff in your house anymore because that could be blocking you. Clothes that you no longer wear because they might be in bad shape, they don't fit you, or maybe you don't even know that they're in your closet because they're under a pile of clothes. Shoes that are worn out and don't fit you any longer, or you just don't wear them because they're uncomfortable, but you keep them in your closet anyways because you think that they're pretty. Items in your kitchen that you never use, like for example, if you have a lot of baking stuff and you don't tend to bake, that's another example of clutter. Achievements from the past that you no longer use pertaining to the past. This can deter you from really living fully in the present. For example, if you changed careers and you still have a lot of things lingering around from your past career, even though that's not something that you want to do anymore. And the list can basically go on and on from there. Just anything that you no longer use, you no longer like, you no longer want it represented in your life is clutter. So what clutter ends up causing, Clutter can cause anxiety and overwhelm because there's so much stuff going on. It creates a barrier for proper chi flow throughout a home and can leave the occupants feeling stuck. It also creates a lot of frustration because you really have to sift through so much junk to get to the item that you end up really wanting. It can also be very frustrating when you actually can't even find the item you want because you know it's in the house somewhere, but you don't know exactly where it is. And then, like I said before, it's a big time waster because you have to sift through all the stuff to get to the item that you want. And if you don't end up finding it, even though you know you own it, you have to go out and then buy the item again. So simply put, clutter is a time and money waster. It can also keep the person holding the clutter tied to the past, which leaves them feeling stuck in the present because there's no room for any new opportunities. And from a feng shui perspective, clutter in certain areas of the house can affect your relationships, your success, your wealth and abundance, and even your health. So you definitely don't want clutter lingering around in your home. Getting clear on your vision. So what exactly do you envision for yourself in your future? Do you see yourself losing weight, getting that job promotion, or even living in a house that looks different, or maybe an area that looks different? Do you see yourself moving closer to the beach or closer to nature, or maybe even into the city? Maybe you need more yang energy in your life, so you like to move closer to more liveliness. How do you want to feel and look in your future? Maybe you have more energy, maybe you have a different hair color, maybe you allow yourself to get dolled up every day. So I prepared a meditation so that you can kind of get clear on your vision. So let's take a few minutes to go through the meditation on where exactly you want to be in your life. Let me just unplug my headphones so that I can play some music for you. Okay. So take a minute, breathe in, and let it out. Breathe in, and let it all out. Take another deep breath in, and let it out fully. Shake off whatever emotions and stresses you are feeling from the day. Let it all go completely. You can stretch a little if you want. Release the tension in your neck and your shoulders. And start to close your eyes. Envision yourself in the future, perhaps living in your ideal home. When you walk into your home, how do you feel upon entering? As you look around, what does your home look like? How do you feel in your home? What would it look and feel like if you had an overall sense of freedom and well-being? Notice the colors, the decoration, and the lighting in your ideal home. As you notice the setting outside your home, where are you? What nature and scenery are you surrounded by? Really feel what it would be like to actually be there. Maybe find a few words that really describe how you're feeling right now. Maybe it's relaxed. Maybe it's energized. Remember the colors that are in your ideal home, what the decor looks like and how you feel. Okay, you can start to stretch a little bit. Move your hands and feet and start to open your eyes. Whatever you saw and you felt, that is the goal. Let me switch that. That's the goal. That's exactly how you want to feel in your home. Anything less than that, you know, why would you accept that for your life? So get rid of that junk and start making your home exactly what you want it to be. Let me just make sure that. Just want to make sure I plugged headphones back in. Just want to make sure that my headphones are connected, and they are. Awesome. Okay, go back to the screen share. So remove the clutter and the things from the past and start to think about how you can build this new environment for yourself that really allows you to thrive, feel free, and be surrounded by what you love. You can do this in your current home, or maybe you're realizing that you want to move on to a new home after releasing yourself from the things of the past. So when you are decluttering, it's important to ask yourself a series of questions when you're going through each and every item. Sometimes you'll know right off the bat that you don't need the item anymore, but other times it can be really tricky to tell, especially when you have memories or emotions associated with the items. So you want to ask yourself, do I truly love this item? Do I honestly use this item? Am I saving this item for a someday scenario? Like when you lose weight, when you have a grandchild, when you get the new job. If that is the case, couldn't you just buy a new one in the future? With money aside, don't even think about that. You're trying to make yourself happy, not worry about what you might have to buy in the future. You can also ask yourself if the item represents who you want to be in the present and in the future. And another thing to ask yourself is this item holding me back? For example, if you have past things from relationships that didn't work out, it really can give off an energy that will block you from developing new relationships. And if that's something that you want, you definitely want to release yourself of anything that might be holding you back. So there are definitely a few other techniques you can use to let go of your items. So like we talked about before, getting clear on your vision. When you're clear about how you want to look and feel and what you want your home to look like, it's a lot easier to see if an item is aligned with that vision. You can also take pictures of the items. For example, if you have a lot of children's artwork, instead of keeping them all piled up in a certain area of your home, you can just take pictures of them and create a photo album. And that's a lot cleaner and easier. Donating to charity. That feels good to let items go and know that you can help others that actually might need the item. You can use kinesiology and pendulums. Basically, they do the same thing. It's like a muscle response to see if your body actually responds well to the item that is in question. So you guys can look that up more on your own, but kinesiology and pendulums are awesome. And they'll definitely let you know if the item is good for you or not. You can also, I don't condone this at all, but if you really need to, if you place the items in question in a bag and put them somewhere and you don't end up using them for a couple of months, then you know that you don't need them. Or if you feel like you really can't let go of an item, if you could just find a good spot for things that you can't let go of, such as the inside of cabinets. If you had, again, for example, children's artwork and you didn't want to keep them in a box, you could put them on the inside of all your cabinets. So when you go and open them, you get to see your children's artwork. So after decluttering, you tend to have an overall sense of well-being in your home. You feel more free, like there's a weight lifted off your shoulder. You can find yourself, finding items more easily and more readily. So you're going to save yourself a lot of time sifting through stuff. And also another important thing is this doesn't mean that your house won't get messy. Even if you do use everything and you do love everything in your home, things still tend to get messy. So when your house gets messy, it doesn't mean that it's cluttered. It's just life is happening. I just wanted to show those of you who might be interested. Oh my goodness, a little bit all over the place today. That there are things for you to use. I actually own this. You can put a bunch of different like to-go cups in these things to keep your kitchen much more organized. There are so many things out there to help you organize your kitchen. I have a lid organizer just like this. It makes life so much easier. So if you need to go through and look at kitchen organization, closet organization, linen closet organization, it's all here. People are making these items for people who want to get organized and have an easier life because everything is just visible. So totally go on Amazon or the Container Store and take a look at some of the stuff that they have out there, because this is going to make your life so much easier. I do want to note too, if you have children, there are a lot of car organizers for children out there where they can keep their like crayons and coloring books and a bunch of stuff right in your car, so nothing really falls all over the place or gets messy. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested. So how do you start transitioning? I would start with where you're feeling frustrated the most in your home. If you get pissed off that nothing fits you in your closet, or you can't find anything in your closet, or it looks like someone rustled up everything in your closet, go and declutter your closet first. If you feel like that about maybe your pantry or your refrigerator even, just go through it. Start where you're frustrated the most and go from there. Another thing you can ask yourself is like, what drawers or cabinets are the worst to go through? And there's storage solutions out there, just like I showed you, but definitely start with what frustrates you the most. Another thing you can do is you can always work with me one-on-one with decluttering, or I have a home cleansing online decluttering course, which I'll take you through quickly. So basically, with me one-on-one, if you go right to my website, I have a decluttering section. So if you're ever ready to go through your whole home, I make this totally tailored to you where you're feeling frustrated. And decluttering packages start at $80 per session and leaves you with about 2 to 4 weeks worth of decluttering objectives. This is more for people who want to free themselves of clutter, but need to do it on their own time because life happens. Everyone's busy. So this is really tailored to those who need more time. And then I have my home cleansing, purging your way to a new start course. Right now, carts close on September 24th, which is tomorrow, but I will be holding it again every spring and fall season. So I will be including this in the links for the replay. So let me stop my screen share. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. Bye, guys.